Welcome, welcome, welcome to Good Vibes Lifestyle live stream happening every Thursday at 3 o'clock p.m. Forgive the noises of my dogs outside. The husband's not doing his job like he's supposed to. What are you gonna do? But here we are, Good Vibes Lifestyle. Important to keep those vibes up no matter what's happening around you, right? It is not an easy thing to do. But that's okay. This is why it's a practice, right? We're never perfect. We're always practicing. We're always, um, you know, looking for ways to improve. And that's why I always love to give you some tips every week on ways to raise your vibration because it's all about where we're vibing is how we attract in life. So we want to be in the good vibes of love, compassion, peace, generosity, all the good qualities that we want, not the fear-based emotions. Because remember, emotions are energy in motion. So I'm excited to let you know that I'm streaming to Instagram. If you like Instagram, I'm streaming there. And then after it's live, I put it on there. So you'll get to see past episodes if you prefer to use that platform. And just remember that to see any of the content that I put out, go to good-vibes.tv. You can get access to my Amazon store, to these podcasts, to the Good Vibes Lifestyle podcast, but also to Good Vibes TV show, which is where I interview different experts, or I like to call them enlightened influencers, so that we can learn how to raise our vibration and live the best life possible. And that's why I love to use the hashtag Good Vibes Lifestyle. So please feel free to use that hashtag because I am all about making this a movement so that we can learn how to live a different way, a better way, right? To live in the higher vibe frequencies, because then we live a higher vibe life and it helps not only us individually, but everyone around us and the planet. All right. Well, welcome, my friends. So happy that you're here. Today's a very exciting day, and I'll tell you why, because I interviewed someone really phenomenal just before this broadcast, and I will tell you about that in just a minute. So, before we get to that, I want to talk about the astrology of what's going on in the world. Um, astrologically, what's happening outside in the cosmos. And right now, we're in the waxing phase of the moon. So, we had the new moon on the 11th, which was a very auspicious day. I hope you set your intentions and your goals for this year so that you use that energy. But we've got a full moon that's coming up on the 25th of January in about a couple of weeks. Today's the 18th, so 25th. So next week, actually a week from now, exactly a week from now, we'll be broadcasting during the full moon. So let me know. Actually, I was thinking about doing some kind of full moon ritual or something like that with you guys. So let me know if that's something you'd like. And remember, you can comment wherever you're watching from. Put a comment. I can see them and I can put them on the screen if you like. So full moon, January 25th, that's when everything comes to a head. That's when we have the most power from the full moon. And it's a great time to culminate, bring anything to a head that, or bring energy to whatever it is that you're working on. So the big news that's happening though before the 25th is this Saturday, we have Pluto going into the sign of Aquarius. Now, this is a big, big shift that's happening. And not only is Pluto going in Aquarius, it's coming from the sign of Capricorn, and it's been there for quite a while. Now it's going into the sign of Aquarius, and it'll be in that sign for like 20 years. So let's talk about this. This big shift, like I said, will last until 2044, where Pluto will be in the sign of Aquarius. It was in the sign of Capricorn, and Capricorn has to do with old systems, with structures and institutions. And when Pluto was in that sign over the last, I think since 2008, old systems and structures were basically transformed because Pluto is the planet of transformation, truth, power. It's basically the birth, death, rebirth cycle, like of the phoenix. So it's a transformation of energy. So Pluto transforming the old structures, and now we're moving into a whole nother era of Aquarius. Now, what is Aquarius all about? The sign of Aquarius is an air sign. So it has to do with thinking, with the idea, the realm of ideas. In Aquarius specifically has to do with freedom, change, community, humanitarianism, also rebellion and revolution, invention, innovations, breakthroughs, groups and causes and movements, and ideals like democracy and individualism. So these are all the qualities of Aquarius. So Pluto is going from Capricorn, the old structures, to this new era, 20 years coming up, of what we think our paradigm, right? So this is about a paradigm shift that we're just entering into. And this is on a collective level, but also on an individual level. So see how this plays out in your life, and how you can use these energies is by focusing on these things in your life. Um, and Saturday is also a special day because not only is Pluto moving into the sign of Aquarius at 0 degrees, the sun also moves into the sign of Aquarius. So we're beginning the Aquarian, month. Every month we have a different sign, your sun sign, so where the sun is actually in that sign. So the sun is moving into the to Aquarius, Pluto, planet of transformation, moving into Aquarius, and also on Saturday, the 20th of January, the moon is in the sign of Gemini, which is also an air sign. So you have these energies shifting. They're all in air signs. And again, the air signs, air has to do with our ideas, our thoughts, what we're thinking. And again, Capricorn, old systems, um, and these relate to authority and patriarchy and the father figure and external power. So now we're moving into taking back our power and being in the sign of Aquarius. So Aquarius is the inventor, the innovator. And one of the times when Pluto moved from Capricorn into Aquarius was the time period between 1778 to 1798. And in the United States, you know that the Declaration of Independence was written, I think, in 1776. So it was just after that that the ideas of a new nation, and a nation that's based on the idea that all men are created equal and not to be ruled by a king. That happened during that period of time. And also, that was the time of the French Revolution. So, again, Aquarius has to do with revolution and rebellions. So, this is the kind of energy, how it's played out in the past. Also, 500 years ago, Martin Luther, this is the time period when he um, extracted himself from the Catholic Church and started Protest, Protestantism. Oh, I'm not even saying the right one. The religion of Protestant, the Protestant religions, right? From the Catholic Church to all the other Christian religions, the Protestant religions. So this is a big shift, and this is just when it starts. So just be aware of this. January 20th, in just a couple of days, big shift happening. And not to say that something specifically is going to happen on that day, but this is the beginning of a 20-year cycle. Now, later this year, Pluto will go back into Capricorn um, from September 2nd to November 19th. So there's like a 2-month window, or less than a 2-month window, where it goes back into Capricorn. So there'll be some revamping or uh, revolution, rebelliousness over, um, you know, authoritarianism during that time. So I think that's why a lot of people are predicting that it's going to be very turbulent, especially around our election time. So just be aware. This information is to help us be prepared and be aware, so that we're not just reacting, so that we're coming from our thinking mind, so that we're being intellectual about things and not just reactive. All right. And, with that said, I'm always looking for uh, new information. And, there's been a lot going on with UFOs. And in my studies of that, I found some information about this new paradigm institute.org. Now, the man starting this is Danny Sheehan, who is a 40 year legal Harvard Law lawyer, Harvard trained lawyer, that has been helping Dr. Stephen Greer regarding UFO disclosure. So he's starting this new Paradigm Institute because it's he believes that humanity, the world on a global scale, we need to open our minds and change our paradigm because it's not the old structure anymore. We are coming into this age of Aquarius, right? It's a gradual process, and all of these little milestones like Pluto going into Aquarius um, trigger the Aquarian age, which is a 2000 year you know era. Okay, so we're going to be this. We were in the Piscean era. Now we're into the Aquarian era, which is kind of what they talked about in you know the show Hair, the Age of Aquarius. But check this out. So, newparadigminstitute.org is all about disclosure on a UFO level and other things, and raising the consciousness of humanity to kind of see that we're not just humans on a planet. We are part of a big cosmic family. Wrap your head around that, and most, I would say, of these beings that are ETs are of a higher consciousness. They are coming from love and compassion. They are coming from the good vibe zone. They have to, because you cannot, if, and this is what Dr. Greer argues, that, if they wanted to demolish us or hurt us or harm us, it would have happened already. They are here to help us. They're here to see how humanity is going to evolve. What changes are we going to make? How are we going to evolve? And to be able to evolve, we got to change, expand our mind. We got to think bigger, think outside the box, and be okay with it. Not be fearful, but be open to a cosmic family. And I think we're going to get more and more disclosures of UFOs, of ETs. And, if it's something that you want to connect with them, there are ways to do it. Just go to drstephengreer.com and you can learn about the CE5 app that you can use, which has to do with contact of the fifth kind, which is where you're reaching out to the cosmic family to communicate with them. So just want to give you that tidbit because I just found out about that. newparadigminstitute.org. Sign up, check it out, sign up for their email, and you'll get the latest information on UFO disclosures. And as I get the information, I am happy to share it with you. All right, so that's all I got for the astrology, but I think it's pretty big information happening with this Pluto in Aquarius. So just be aware of it. It's happening this Saturday, and transformation. I love it. All right, so now it's time to play with our Oracle of the Month. And this month's Oracle is the Angels and Auras deck Oracle by Radleigh Valentine and Dougal Fraser. So I've been playing with these, in between the live stream. So I get to work with these cards. And again, any Oracle divination tool is a tool to help us communicate with the divine, our higher power, divine, the cosmic computer, the universe. As long as you're asking with a sincere heart, you'll get an answer. You just need to not doubt it, but accept it and be open, right? So a lot of times the self-doubt and all that comes in, but you got to let that go and just be open to your highest good, because the universe is there to help you on all levels. You, me, all of us. And as long as we, know and trust that, we'll be able to manifest better things in our life. So what does Spirit want us to know right now for our highest and best good? And this is perfect. Love it, love it, love it. evolution, empowerment, transformations, protected, and preparedness. So let me show you this card. I've got my, come on, baby. Where are you? There we go. Evolution. There she is. Empowerment, transformation, protected, and preparedness. Number 23. And I also do this so you can see that how easy it is to work with any of these oracle decks. What I'm doing, you can just do, and you could do more involved than this, but I just want to kind of show you these decks so that you can get to use them and see how I use them so you can get some ideas on how you can use them. So let's talk about evolution, which is what I think this is all about. Okay, so this is a card of true inner strength. You may have recently been caught off guard by changes in your life that weren't anticipated, but you have what it takes to handle everything. It may also be that changes that you expected and even initiated have begun to play out in your life. Sometimes, when you choose change, the emotional effects can be more than what you envisioned. The transitions may cause others around you to feel uncertain or uncomfortable. Your path is the one that matters most here. You can only comfort others so much. Remain true to yourself. The color activations are light green and white. Light green is often the color considered the color of pure joy. The color white is like a breath of fresh air and helps to alleviate any stress you find. Sorry. The color white is like a breath of fresh air and helps to alleviate any stress so you can find peace in this moment. White and light green and evolution. So empowerment, transformations, protected, and preparedness. I think we're right on target with what's happening in the change of the Pluto in Aquarius transition. And yeah, so what do you think about that? Pretty on target, but spirit always is. So that is our message from the Oracle today. All right. Now, if you like this oracle, you can shop my Amazon store. Just go to good-vibes.tv and check it out there. All the books and tools and things that I talk about, um, I share there. Okay, now let's talk about last week's tip to raise your vibration. Again, kind of falling in line with all this idea of expanded consciousness. And this tip, last week's tip, was to open your mind to new possibilities. We're in a new year. It's the universal number 8, has to do with the infinity sign, infinite possibilities, growth. So, did you do that this week? Have you opened your mind to new possibilities? I have been opening up my mind to UFOs and Bigfoots. It's been very, very interesting. And I'll tell you more about that. But let's talk about this week's tip. So, this week's tip I just learned today. I've been taking a yoga challenge, and she taught about box breathing. And the way box breathing works is that you're breathing in at a count of 4, then you're holding that breath for a count of 4, and then you're releasing the breath for a count of 4. Then you're uh, pausing for a count of 4 before you take another breath, and then you breathe back in. So let's try it together. So breathe in, count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4. Release for 4. Hold the breath out for 4 beats. Now breathe in for 4. Hold for 4. Release for 4. Hold the breath out for 4 beats. And breathe in. So I think they call it a box because it's, you're going in and out like a kind of a box. And then you can go longer than 4 beats, but whatever it is, you want to keep it consistent. The other tip with doing any of these breathing exercises. If you breathe through your nose only, that helps create more nitrous oxide in the body or nitric oxide in the body, which is good for you. It helps with the vasodilation and your heart. So, breathing in and out through the nose is a better way to do it when in this kind of breathing exercise. And try that. Breathe in for 4 beats, hold for 4, breathe out for 4 beats through your nose, hold for 4, and then breathe back in and just keep doing that cycle for a couple minutes and you'll notice your parasympathetic nervous system calms down. So it's a great practice to do it right before you have any kind of, you know, big thing to do or something that you're nervous about. Try that exercise. All right. So the reason I've been so excited today is because I have been able to um, interview a man um, named Ron Moorhead, who is the OG of Bigfoot research. He, in the 70s, was the man who recorded the sounds of Bigfoot in the Sierra Mountains of California. And these recordings have been verified by science. They're not hoaxes or anything. These are the real sounds. And, here is the book. It's the Quantum Bigfoot book that he just came out. So Ron has uh, decided that or figured out or uses quantum physics to explain some of the phenomena that happens with Bigfoot. So his first book is Voices in the Wilderness, and that book has parts to it where you can actually hear the sounds of Bigfoot calling. But what's so great is that I got to interview him today, and we even played some of the vocalizations of Bigfoot, and that will be the show. And I think we talked for over an hour, so I think I'm going to make it into a two-parter because there's so much great information. Now, quantum Bigfoot, there's a lot of talk about Bigfoot. What happens is they'll find tracks and the tracks stop. Or there have been hunters that shot at Bigfoot and swore that they got him, but there are no bones and there's no body. So the theory is that Bigfoot uses sound to raise their vibration and to a point. And Ron talks about there's a certain frequency that the sound becomes light. So you see these orbs coming around when they're Bigfoot sightings. And many feel that those are actually the Bigfoots, either coming or going. They're interdimensional beings, kind of like ETs. Now, there's the theory too that the Anunnaki who messed with our DNA, and just read up about the Anunnaki, so they're beings, cosmic beings that mess with our DNA to create us, and also possibly these Bigfoot. So it's very interesting stuff. And Ron was also one thing that stuck out to me today was he was saying that there's not just one Bigfoot like race. There's several genomes of them, several varieties of Bigfoot, and some are malevolent and some are um, not. They're beneficial. They're good. Good and bad kind of Bigfoot. But really, it's how you're vibing is what you attract. Just like how you vibe is the tribe that you attract. Vibing with your tribe, kind of idea. Well, if you go into the forest looking for Bigfoot to kill it, it senses this and it's not going to come out. Or if anything, it might protect itself or whatever. They're going to stay away. The researchers that go into the forest looking for Bigfoot to communicate with them from a loving and compassionate place have totally different experiences. And one lady is Joan Ocean. She is in his book, Quantum Bigfoot. I hadn't heard of her before. She's in her 80s as well. And she swims with the dolphins and has been able to communicate with them. Well, she also went into the forest to communicate with Sasquatch, and she's got some stories to tell. So I'm hoping maybe I could get an interview with her one day because very interesting stuff that I've been researching. So I just want to let you know about that. So coming up, and this will be our first episode of season 4, will feature Bigfoot. And Ron Moorhead, again, he's the author of Quantum Bigfoot, and he has another book coming out called Bigfoot Unveiled, hoping to have that out by March. He will be in Townsend, Tennessee for the Bigfoot Festival. I'm hoping that I've applied to stream live from the Bigfoot Festival, which is happening, I believe, on May 4th. May the 4th be with you. And I'm hoping to be able to do that. So I haven't heard back yet, but we always attend. At least the last 2 years, we've attended the Bigfoot Fest in Townsend, Tennessee, and it seems like every year it gets bigger and bigger. And they have really great speakers, and Ron's going to be speaking there as well with his new book, Bigfoot Unveiled. So check it out if you're in the area or want to come to Townsend. Townsend is near Pigeon Forge in Gatlinburg. If you're familiar, it's just on the west side of the the Appalachian Mountains, the Smoky Mountains, right near Cherokee and stuff. So very cool. And so, my friends, what do you think? Are you into Bigfoot? Or are you just curious? What's the message that Bigfoot has for us? So these are some questions I had for Ron, and you'll have to catch the episode. I'm going to try to get it aired by Sunday, get it edited and done by Sunday, at least part one. If not, it might be a few days after that, if not for sure by next Sunday. So I will keep you posted on that. All right, my friends, thank you so much for watching. And if you liked what I shared here today, please like it, share it, subscribe to the channel if you're able. And, I appreciate you and hope that the information I have for you is something that you can use in your day to day life to raise your vibration, because that's what it's all about. All right, my friends, peace out, raise your vibe, and I will see you next week. Take care, everyone.